Mr. Transformers 96 here with another New York Toy Fair 2020 reveal, and this time it is from Transformers, the studio series. It's a few of the kind of official images of the upcoming Transformer figures. Now, these quality-wise aren't great currently. I'm sure we're going to get some high-definition ones during the event. However, right now they were just kind of snagged off of, I believe, like Walmart's system. That's where these pictures generated from. So the quality on them isn't great, but we'll get some more crisp ones soon. Nonetheless, I definitely want to talk about them. So we have three figures. Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader. Starting off with the Leader class, it's obviously Overload. He's the one that we've seen before. Obviously, he was on display when they showed the official, all-complete, Devastator. So we've seen him on display, but here's a shot of the official image. Looks really nice. I think this is a really good-looking Transformer. He has unique proportions that I think really capture what we've seen in the concept art. I love his little claw-like arms, where, almost like every hand is a little different and has its own kind of unique kind of flair to it, which I think is quite neat. The legs look pretty decent. My only fear when it comes to like his structure is how well supported he's going to be. I could definitely see the legs just being a little weak when it comes to the giant upper torso and forearms, and even like back cannon type thing. Like, he is very top heavy, so I could see him being a little weak when it comes to the thighs, especially after a little bit of time. The ankle rocker and the thighs are the things that I'm worried about joint wise with him. But nonetheless, I think he looks like an awesome Transformer. Very much looking forward to him, not only to complete Devastator, but for the, figure himself. I think that he's a really nice one, and a character that we've never had a figure for before, other than the Legends class one, which I'm actually looking at right now. That one is definitely a far cry from what it should be, though. So this looks great, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, the two new ones. Character-wise, we knew that these were coming. There's been a couple, like, quick, glimpses of the Sentinel Prime in package, and we've heard rumors of them doing a Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave, but now we actually have a shot of them both. I'm going over Soundwave first. I think that Soundwave is a missed opportunity in my mind. I think that it's a little weak for them to be making him. Like, there's so many figures to make, and this is the sound, you go with this. I don't know, it's so weird, especially since like the very last wave had the actual Soundwave we want, so it's not even like it's been a decent amount of time since they've done a Soundwave or anything like that. This is a Soundwave that just nobody wants, because obviously in the film he never like transforms. The alt mode of him as the satellite is the only thing important, and maybe they're really banking on the fact that people will want the satellite version of him, and the alt mode and the robot mode is more of a side thing. But for me, I'm just saying this is an easy skip for me. I don't think it looks that great. I think it's fine. I think the face sculpt looks really good. The rest of him looks very generic. Having the panels on his arms, I mean, I guess they can kind of be like little shields or like little electromagnetic kind of pulse type things, but the thing is, we obviously never see him transform, and I can't picture any concept art for him either. There might be some out there, but personally this is not a figure that I'm interested in, just because I think it's a little worthless. If I were to buy it, I'd probably keep it in satellite mode, but the thing is, the one from Revenge of the Fallen is so much better. I think that his alt mode is so much more interesting looking, and you can't say that this one's more accurate, because there isn't an accurate, so it's all about just what it looks like, and the Revenge of the Fallen one is a lot more interesting than this. This is very basic in its design. The only thing that this one could trump the other one on is the satellite mode, which we haven't seen yet, but the satellite mode on the other one was really good, so I don't even know if that's going to be able to do that, but nonetheless, either way, just not a figure that I'm interested in. It's one that I'll get on clearance, but I don't think I'd ever just buy it outright. Even though I'm a big Decepticon fan, I love Soundwave. It's just, this is a version of Soundwave that I don't think is particularly interesting, and the figure himself isn't very interesting either, especially since it's a concept so they could make him really interesting, but they kind of just decided not to. Then Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime looks great. Sentinel Prime is somebody that we needed a new figure for, I think. He's such a big character in the movie that he's in. He plays such a big part. And although the Leader class, I think, is a great figure, the Voyager class leaves a lot to be desired, so getting a new version of him Voyager-wise is important. I have seen that people have actually taken a really close look at this, and it looks like it is a very slight retool, or a very extensive retool, kind of however you want to put it, of the Voyager Megatron from Revenge of the Fallen. It seems to use the same assembly in the shoulders, like the This little clip piece does seem to be the same, and there's a piece in the thigh here that does seem to be the same as well. So they almost are kind of just using the structure of him somewhat for what they did with Shockwave, excuse me, where they ended up using having a major retool, where they used almost like the structure of Megatron, but then added, all the extra pieces on him. That's something that for me, I don't mind at all, because I think that as long as they have a good structure, that's great, because unless I'm looking side by side trying to compare them, there's not like you could ever tell that it was the same figure, or same, pieces. So it's not something that bothers me at all. I think they've done a great job with him. From what I can see, it looks really good. The legs look super clean, which I like. I like how clean the legs look. Very nice. I think that overall it looks pretty good. The backpack piece does look a little extensive. Now, he should kind of have a bit of wing type thing, so this isn't bad. But the piece that sticks up here, I'm not a big fan of. Maybe that'll be able to be folded down a little bit more, or we'd be able to hide it a bit, but we'll have to see. Nonetheless, though, I think that looks like a pretty substantial figure. So out of these 3 reveals, hopefully we'll get some more high-definition images of them, and particularly with Soundwave, hopefully we get a picture of his alt mode. But overall, some interesting figures. Very excited for Overload, figure-wise and Devastator-wise. Pretty excited for Sentinel Prime. Not there are so many Sentinel Primes that, I'm not clamoring for a new one, but nonetheless, I think that Voyager class is definitely where this one needed an update, so I'm excited to get it for that. And then the Soundwave, I find a little basic in my opinion. But there you go, that's my thoughts on some of the first of the Transformer figures shown from New York Comic Con 2020. Or excuse me, New York Toy Fair 2020. So let me know what you guys think of them, and stay tuned for all of my New York Toy Fair coverage.